I mean, obviously, I remember your last interview that you did with MUTV.
Yeah.
One of the most sort of emotional interviews I've ever seen when a manager leaves a football club.
Yeah.
Did it hit you hard in that first few months?
It hit me hard the first day.
Did it?
Because I knew the day before, absolutely 100% at half-time against Watford, I knew, that's it. So the team talk at half-time was about whoever wants to play can play, get your hand up if you don't want to play. Made a few changes, a couple of the lads actually in tears, and they had a go. And then after the game I knew, but didn't hear anything. So, but I still knew. And the next morning you get a text, I want to see you in my office. I just left my missus at the airport and then text her, I think I'll be coming back with you. And yeah, it took about 5 minutes with Ed and then stayed and spoke to some of the lads and did an interview because I needed to do it properly.
Ole Gunnar Solskjær, the baby-faced assassin, one of the very few United legends to ever manage the club, taking over from the storms left by Jose Mourinho. And for a moment, it felt like the DNA was finally back. But then, it all fell apart. Or at least, that's what we told ourselves. Now, looking at the chaos of the last 48 hours following Amorim's sacking, Ole's tenure doesn't look like a failure anymore, kind of like a miracle. But I know what you're probably thinking. Ole had no style and wasn't a tactical maestro. That accusation is thrown at him constantly, all right? But facts are just facts. United fans don't take him serious because he's not in the same bracket as Pep, Klopp or Tuchel. But we just can't take away the fact that he beat all of them. From outclassing Nagelsmann and Bielsa to outmaneuvering Pochettino, Ole wasn't just getting lucky. He was winning the tactical chess match against the best in class. Now let's get to business, and this is where you really need to hear me out. There's a high chance Ole becomes the next United manager, but are there any guarantees we aren't heading back to the chaos that ruined his first term? Because when it got ugly, it got so embarrassing. One week United are dismantling PSG in the Champions League, and the next they are dropping points at home to a bottom-of-the-table Sheffield United. So to understand why it went bad, we have to look at the three problems that facilitated Ole's failure. First, the tag. Ole never truly shook off the not good enough label. No matter how many derbies he won or how many top 3 finishes he secured, the narrative remained the same. He was a placeholder, a club legend doing a job until a real manager became available. He was constantly fighting a battle of perception that he was just a lucky man in a big seat. And if we're not careful, given how volatile United's fanbase can be, the same thing might happen again. Second is the style, or rather the accusation that he didn't have one. While Pep has his tiki-taka and Klopp has his heavy metal press, Ole's United was often accused of being purely vibes-based and inshallah. There were no clear patterns of play. If the individual stars didn't produce a moment of magic, the team looked lost, often struggling to break down even the weakest low blocks. And that leads us to the third reason, which is the systemic collapse. And this is the part people forget. In early 2021, the United way was actually working. We had a composed Paul Pogba racking up 7 assists in 4 games, De Gea, Bruno and a certain Mason Greenwood firing on all cylinders. This was going on well until the phone rang. Enter Cristiano Ronaldo. While his second stint started with those 2 glorious goals against Newcastle, and let's be honest, his European heroisms with late winners against Villarreal and Atalanta practically single-handedly kept United in the Champions League, it was also the beginning of the end. He was an icon, yes, but he was 36, didn't track back, didn't press. Suddenly, a team built for high-intensity, fluid movement had to stop and revolve around one man. The tactical light that was guiding the squad started to flicker. But the real casualty was Edinson Cavani. The Uruguayan was the engine of Ole's press, one of the best in the world for on- and off-ball movement. When Ronaldo arrived, Cavani was forced to the shadows. The balance was gone. The tactical foundation Ole had spent 3 years building simply crumbled under the weight of one superstar. But how did he still achieve more than all of the tactical geniuses who followed him? This is where it gets interesting. Now let's get to the good part, because while the internet remembers the 5-0 loss to Liverpool, they seem to have forgotten that for 2 years, United were actually a problem. In a post-Sir Alex world, we've been told that top 4 is a monumental struggle, but Ole didn't just stumble into the Champions League, he delivered back-to-back top 3 finishes. Since he left, we've seen 8th place finishes, 15th place disasters under Amorim, and managers struggling to even stay in the top half. People called him a PE teacher, but that PE teacher has a 54% win rate, a number that looks like a golden era compared to the 38% we just witnessed over the last 14 months. And then there's the Road Warrior record. Under Ole, United set a top-flight record for the longest unbeaten away run in English football history, 29 games without a single loss on the road. Think about that. For over a year, it didn't matter if we were at Etihad, Anfield, or Stamford Bridge, United did not break. Compare that to the glass chin United we've seen recently, where one away goal usually means the floodgates are opening. But the real miracle were the big games. They said he had no tactics, yet he's one of the only managers on the planet with a winning record against Pep Guardiola. He did the league double over City. He dismantled Nagelsmann's Leipzig 5-0. He outthought Tuchel's PSG twice. He didn't use vibes to beat the best in the world. He used a big game Ballista, a 3-5-2 or a lethal 4-2-3-1 counterpress that shut down Raheem Sterling, Phil Foden, and Kylian Mbappe. This guy kinda knew how to shoot dragons out of the sky. He brought the smiles back, he brought the big game wins back, and most importantly, he brought the hope back. Right now, the fans are screaming for an Ole last dance, but the boardroom is terrified of another Amorim-style collapse. This time, they're casting a wide net, looking for safety. On one hand, you've got Ole Glasner, the man of the hour who just took Palace to FA Cup glory. He's the form pick, available this summer and tactically elite. Then there's the INEOS favourites, Gareth Southgate, the supposed unifier for a broken dressing room, and Enzo Maresca, fresh from his New Year's Day exit from Chelsea. If the board is really calling Ole Gunnar Solskjær back this week, is United actually going backwards? Or are they finally admitting that the man they sacked in 2021 was the only one who actually understood what it takes to win at this club? Only time will tell.